Messy and Zesty here. I see that you're liking the first few videos I have uploaded, so I will ask you to please like, share, and subscribe. The only way to get messy and zesty is to share it with others. And let me know you came by and put your fingerprints on the countertop, okay? So, I got a treat for y'all today. Since we're going to be doing Love During Lockup, and I used to watch this show all the time, Life After Lockup, all of it, but I never had a channel to share. So I said, let me go down memory lane with y'all. Would you like that? Let's go down memory lane and see what these people got cooking in their lives. Because I tell you, they were quite entertaining. Quite entertaining. And you know I'm going to start off with one of my personal favorites. Personal favorites, y'all. Personal favorites. Andrea and Lamar. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all remember Andrea and Lamar? For those of you who don't know Andrea and Lamar, Andrea was Mormon. She was living in Utah with her three kids, two teenagers and preteen. I believe her daughter was about 6 or 7 at the time. And Lamar was the incarcerated gentleman she was talking to. Now, when he was released from prison, we saw Andrea run across that highway. It wasn't busy, ain't nobody was passing by, but she ran across that highway for her man. And they moved right in together with her kids there. And I was like, Andrea. Even her friends, when she finally told them, were like, Andrea, what you doing? So Andrea moved to California to be close to Lamar. Now Lamar is how can I say, he got colors. He colors affiliated. You know there's some words we can't say on YouTube. He got them colors. You know what color the sky is? That's the color he's affiliated with. She even got him a cake with those colors on the inside. Go on, support your boo. Go on and support your boo. Now it was a huge adjustment for the kids to move to California. But while Lamar is an incarcerated individual and on parole, I thought he was all around okay person. You know, the stint in jail is what brings him down quite a few stars, okay? But he seemed to be a cool dude. He did not seem to be running the streets with other women, but he around his friends. And they got to go to the strip club. And they got to go party. And they got to go riding around. And sometimes the company you keep gonna take you out of the company. Okay? Do you all understand what I'm cooking about? I liked Andrea for some things, except for the high-pitched voice, except for a whole bunch of other stuff. Her two oldest children, quite well-rounded, her son and her daughter. Love to see them on camera. Her son was my, voice of reason, as was her daughter. But they kind of opened up to Lamar and the changes in California. And then we find out her youngest child. Is Lamar's daughter. Now, how can that be, y'all ask? How can that be? How can this, I think she was 5 or 6 at the time, be his daughter? And he only just got out of jail last week. Well, I tell you what, Andrea and Lamar got some closet time and made use of it. He made a deposit, okay? She snatched his soul and made another. Can y'all understand what I'm saying? The closet was bumping and jumping, and the guard didn't stop it. So Andrea left the prison with a package. She left the prison with a piece of him and grew up into a little girl. Now, beautiful that there is life created from this, but my golly, that was something, Andrea, I couldn't do. I know that's not in your Mormon faith because he was not your husband at the time. Okay? Girl, even if he was, you are in the closet. Now we understand Michael Jackson with the keep it in the closet. We understand other folks with the closet songs. But Andrea went to the closet and made life with Lamar. Put it down in the comments if y'all would be caught in that position, because I wouldn't. Ain't no way. You lucky you find me even looking at you sideways, even writing you, far less have you depositing in the club raw. Because you know it got to be raw, y'all. Because when she's getting patted down, she can't bring no protection into the prison. Because then they know what she's coming for. Because she's looking for that prisoner to be coming around her. Okay? Now, Lamar, you don't know this lady, but I guess this is the only thing you gonna get snatched in here. Okay? Now, what did Lamar go and tell? Did Lamar go and tell the fellas, hey, I got closet time? Because, if they were married, they could have conjugal visits. So this is how I know they weren't married. So, Lamar, what did you go back and tell the brothers? What did you go back and say? Did you tell? Because if you told, somebody would have blown up your spot. So did you keep it? Did you go shower? Or did you keep the funk from funky time all over yourself? Because you got to be smelling. That closet's so close, it got to be smelling. All I know is I need to know how much that guard got paid. Because that guard set it up. That guard was pimping, pimping, pimping. How much was that guard paid to allow this closet time? Because he couldn't just disappear. So now we understand why several prisons are now only doing visits via phone call, via video call. Because what they're not going to do is be part and parcel to making some babies. Okay? Do y'all hear me? That was real messy. But they are still together, y'all. They are still married. He had a little running with the law a few years back because he was with the wrong friend, with the wrong time, or with the wrong heavy metals in the car. You understand me? Next, we have one of my first thruples, y'all. Lacey and Shane. I remember this. Lacey's boyfriend was incarcerated, and Lacey was then talking to Shane at the same time. I believe the boyfriend is also the father of her kids. Father of her kids. Neither of the men knew she was talking to both of them. Neither one of them. Lacey was keeping it gangster. Lacey was like, whoever come out first gets me first. Well, Shane turned out to be the happy camper. And Lacey was just there. Now, Lacey, the lips are done. The chest is done. The whole thing is done. Done. Okay? Lacey is putting it out there like, hey, this could be all yours. Now, Shane was mystified by Lacey at first. He was like, ooh, look at this girl. Now, he did not know that her baby daddy, who was locked up, was still being talked to. His name was John. So while John was in the can, she was looking around to see what other inmates she could talk to, and here popped up Shane. That's why I said it's a little thruple. It's kind of like Hunter this season. Hunter got those two ladies, except one is like, oh, go find you somebody to sponsor your life. So while John was still incarcerated, Mr. Shane proposed to Lacey. She accepted his proposal and broke it up with John while John's incarcerated. I'm like, girl, when John come out, he coming to see his kids. He coming to see his kids. So they were married, Lacey and Shane. They had a daughter together. Lacey, remember, had 3 children with John. Okay? So there was a time where they were real happy. I thought this was going to be a happy blended family. I was like, ooh, Lacey locked up because Shane is doing all he needs to. But then John gets out, as I remember, and starts throwing salt in the whole picture. So what we find out now, present day, Shane and Lacey are not together. Not together. But they have a beautiful daughter together. Now, Lacey, I don't know what you're doing, but I hope you ain't flipping through those incarcerated magazines to find you somebody else. Because, Shane was a little bit younger than you, but y'all kind of matched energies, and I was hoping for y'all that this worked out. But Lacey was playing her cards, hedging her bets that she would find somebody, and if John stayed locked up, Shane got out, and he was the first one across the line. Okay, he crossed the line and had a daughter with her. One of my last favorites for this, because we're going to keep this short and sweet, was Brittany and Marcelino. Brittany and Marcelino. Now, Brittany was incarcerated, and Marcelino was this young man, I think he was in his 30s, veteran, decorated, good head on his shoulders. And we were like, Brittany gonna come in and clean you up, my man. Brittany gonna clean you up. But guess what? Brittany had a young lady she was seeing. She had a girlfriend. She had a girlfriend. And she had a son with someone, a previous relationship. Now, Marcelino was on it. He's like, hey, your son is my son. We going to work this together. We going to co-parent with your son's dad. We going to do this. Okay? They were, how can I say it? I thought she was really going to take advantage of him. But they married at the end of season 2. They had their first child together. And they had, I think, a couple more children together. Couple more children together. And she had to give up that girlfriend and actually commit to a life with Marcelino. And I was like, I thought she was just here to get what she can out of Marcelino. But they have built up a really beautiful family. And they are still together, y'all. I love that for them. I really do love it. Marcelino and Brittany, y'all had me thinking sideways. Brittany had some challenges with her family, with her mom. Brittany had some other challenges with having to give up some of the, how can I say, the ties to things that may take her off the good path. They eventually bought a house together. They tried to say Marcelino had a gambling habit. I felt like that was contrived for the show. But I certainly can, celebrate the fact that this family is still together. Even though they get messy at times, even though they get zesty at times, they still come together in the kitchen. I want to thank y'all for joining me for this update, recap, and look back. And I may do this again based on how y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel. See you on the next video.